Shalom, good evening. Today is March 17th and it's day 163 of the war between Israel and Hamas. And we're watching here Channel 12 together. And the anchor begins about the extended war cabinet in Israel is traveling tomorrow to Qatar for serious negotiations with Hamas. Question is what's the chance that they will finally come into an agreement? It is day 163 of the war, and still 134 hostages are still in Gaza. Many of them are still alive. The reporter is saying that after many months of efforts to negotiate with Hamas, they're finally coming to a stage of actual negotiation tomorrow. It will be with Rosh Hashabak Ronen Bar, Rosh Mossad Dedi Barnea Afar on the right, and another general, reservist General Nitzan Alon. Of course, some of their teams will be there again. And this is going to be a negotiation that will look like this. Hamas will be in one room, the Israelis in another one, and Qatar will be running in between them. Qatar representatives, of course, will be running in between them, bringing the different negotiations. Israel has been discussing the framework in which they can operate in. Where can they be more flexible? Where they cannot be flexible, they need to be more stern. It seems like the discussions tomorrow, the negotiation will start with how many prisoners, terrorists, Israel will allow to release for one Israeli hostage. The next story, still related to the hostage exchange deal, is the Rafa operation. Israel has not yet entered Rafa in an official way. The chief of staff did approve certain operations in Rafa. It takes about 2 weeks to evacuate the whole population in Rafa and then work operationally in there. But Israel is not yet doing that. They're trying all of their ways. They're trying in every way to be able to have a good hostage negotiation deal. Israel has not yet officially gone to Rafa, even though the chief of staff allowed it, in order to allow the best deal possible, to have a deal without going to Rafa. And maybe in a temporary ceasefire that will come out of this negotiation plan, some specific population in Rafa can go back to their homes, certain children in a certain age and women, and that will make it easier to operate in Rafa anyway. Now to Herzi Halevi, the chief of staff, he's giving quite a long speech here. He's updating about the south of the Gaza Strip, the north of the Gaza Strip. He's updating about Hamas. There was a big operation or a big explosion that Israel did together with airstrikes and intelligence, working together with infantry in order to get to some senior Hamas leaders underground. And he's saying it was well planned, and this is part of his, the IDF's ability. We've killed many terrorists in general, and many seniors are even taken captive. He's speaking to those terrorists that are having a hard time to function, to operate. He says, we will get to you too, even though you're hiding. He's mentioning also Hezbollah, how Hezbollah is increasing the attacks in the north, and Hezbollah is paying a high price for that. Then he's turning to the evacuees, the Israeli evacuees in the north. So many families are evacuated. And he says, I know that it's very, very difficult, but we will take you back. We'll allow you to go back home only when there's full security. He's turning to Hamas, and he's saying Hamas can put down their weapons and surrender. But Hamas is deciding to continue to fight, and that's how we must continue to fight, because it's not right to allow Hamas battalions still active in Gaza after what happened on October 7th. This is Tamir Hayman. He's the former head of the intelligence wing of the IDF, and he says that Israel is lacking initiative, and it needs more initiative in the day after the war, deciding who will govern the Gaza Strip. It can't be Fatah, they're saying. It can't be Hamas. It needs to be the IDF, in his opinion. He's also saying Israel needs more initiative in who will distribute the humanitarian aid that comes from America. Because if Israel will not decide, it will be Hamas, as it's doing today, and it's very, very controlling and keeping most of the humanitarian aid away from those who need it. So this is a commentary expressing frustration about many things, especially the initiative of the IDF, and in his opinion is lacking. Next is about presumptions that the number 3 terrorist in Hamas has been assassinated in the big explosion in Nusirat. There he is. His name is Issa Husal. Issa is assassinated. It says the presumptions are increasing. It says the Gaza sources say that Isa was in Nusirat in the big explosion and he got injured, and his situation is not clear. So they're hiding, Hamas is hiding information, but as time goes by, the presumptions are increasing that he's dead. Isa is one of those who planned October 7th massacre, and he's one of the top 3 leaders of Hamas. The next story is about construction sites in Israel and Indian workers that are not yet in Israel. The reporter is saying that 100,000 Palestinian workers are banned from coming back into Israel after October 7th, and the construction sites are desolate. There are 20,000 Chinese foreign workers, but China has refused sending any more. So usually the construction sites are managed and mainly worked by Palestinians. So the report is asking, where will our help come from? And they're answering from India. Indian workers are longing to come to Israel. We know some of our viewers and subscribers are from India. And here we are, many workers really striving to come to Israel and work. They're saying it's much better in Israel than in India. These guys are working hard, trying to really show their best work. The Israeli says that he sees their hands shaking, they're sweating, they realize it is their future, and they're trying really hard to get accepted. So maybe we in Israel will see many more Indians here, and the construction sites are on hold. So any foreign workers will do a great deal of difference here in Israel. For more updates and stories, visit us at allisrael.com. Share these stories with your friends. Like this video if you liked it. This is Rotem Magen for All Israel News.